Hi loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be reviewing the Lancôme Teint Idole foundation. This is their ultra wear foundation, you guys, and I am probably the last person on the planet to be reviewing this foundation, you guys. This is their reformulated foundation. They did come out with their original like years and years ago, but they did reformulate it. I want to say about maybe 3 years ago at most, maybe. So yes, like I said, I'm extremely late, but I just wanted to incorporate another matte foundation into my collection. So I just came across this one and I heard nothing but good things about it. So we're gonna be putting it to the test today. So if you guys would like to know my thoughts on the foundation and how it wears throughout the day, then just continue to watch. Okay, you guys, so y'all should know how I like to do my foundation reviews. I like to go over the packaging and then the information on the foundation, and then we go into the demo and then the wear test. And as you can see, my eyes are already done. If you guys are interested in how I got this eyeshadow look, then just go to my TikTok. A full tutorial is over there. Okay guys, so this is the packaging. I will say so far this is my most expensive foundation that I have in my collection. This foundation does retail for $53, and this is what it looks like. Very slim frosted glass bottle, and I love the little gold plate on top of it. It definitely adds more of a luxurious look to the foundation. This does kind of remind me of the NARS Natural Radiant packaging. They're kind of similar, just real skinny and sleek, definitely easy to travel with. And the shade that I got was 510 Neutral. Hopefully this shade works for me. I was having a little bit of trouble finding my shade, not even necessarily like trouble, but when I was on TikTok trying to find a shade twin when it comes to this foundation, they did use a shade that I felt like was not suitable for me once I went into Sephora and I swatched it on my arm. So I went with 510 instead of the shade that everybody was pretty much recommending that looked a little bit similar to my skin tone. Everybody was using, I want to say 445W, which it did look like it would be a match, but when I swatched it in the store, it just looked like it was a little bit too light for my liking. I will always choose a foundation that's a little bit too dark versus a foundation that's a little bit too light. That's just me. So yeah, we're just gonna go right into it, you guys. I'm like really eager and excited. I am gonna be using a primer. I am moving too fast right now. I literally just want to get into this foundation because I've had it for a minute now, but I definitely skipped over all of the information, like that portion. So this foundation does claim to be a full coverage natural matte foundation that lasts up to 24 hours and delivers waterproof, sweat and humidity and transfer resistant wear. So we're definitely not going to be testing this for 24 hours. That's crazy. But let's just move on. Other good information about this foundation is that it has a breathable formula with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, moringa, I don't know if that's how you say it, moringa seed extracts, and prebiotics. Okay. This foundation is free of mineral oil and contains less than 1% of synthetic fragrance. Alrighty. And like I said earlier, this does retail for $53. So let's just get right into it for real this time, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Grippy Serum because this foundation definitely is transfer proof. So when something is transfer proof, you guys, it is definitely on the matte side. So I want to go in with a primer that is a little bit more on the hydrating side, so my skin is not completely dried out because I do have dry skin. And we're definitely going to put the coverage claim to the test, the full coverage claim to the test, because my skin has been absolutely going crazy. Like when I tell y'all cutting up for no reason, literally for no reason. Well, I'm not going to say for no reason because I have not went to a dermatologist yet. But yeah, you guys, my skin has definitely been putting me through it. Okay, so y'all, this is literally only my second time using this primer, and I really like how it feels. It definitely has a nice grip. It feels really thin to the touch and the consistency. So I was like, is it really gonna like have that grippy feel? But as it's sitting on my skin, it's definitely giving me a nice grip. All right, y'all, so I really hope that this shade is going to work for me. I do like a more neutral tone foundation, but not too neutral to the point where I look really gray and dull. So we will definitely see. And I'm going to apply this foundation like how I would any other foundation. I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty powder for just like a palette or something because my other palettes are like dirty. So I'm just gonna do 1, 2 pumps. And you guys, I definitely forgot to shake the bottle. I don't know if it tells you to do that, but you should just want to do that with every foundation. So since I didn't shake it, I'm just gonna take my brush and just mix it all together. Y'all, I'm so nervous. Usually if a foundation is too warm, I just go in with my LA Girl pigment, the blue one, but we will see. So 2 pumps is pretty much like the standard for me. I have a huge face. So yeah, let's just go right in. So it looks nice so far. Just a little bit more for this area. So I'm just gonna do 1/2 of my face right now. And you guys, usually I would let a foundation just sit on my skin for a little bit before I blend this out, but this is a matte finish, so I just want to be careful. I do like to test out how much blend time I do get, so maybe I'll let it sit on my skin for like 10 seconds. I'll just fan it. I'll just fan it like this, just for a little bit, you guys. I don't want this to sit too long because I do not know how much time I have, but okay, so it's saying it's neutral, but I feel like this is really, really warm, like very warm by how it is looking so far. Very lightweight, thin in texture as well. So right off the bat, definitely not full coverage. I still see a lot of my dark spots peeking through, pretty much all of my dark spots peeking through, honestly, you guys. Just recently reviewed the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, the new reformulated one, and that foundation is more so of a natural matte finish, but it definitely covered up majority of my dark spots in one layer. But this, I can definitely still see every single thing, like everything. So yeah, definitely not full coverage off the bat. I will let this sit on my skin for just a little bit, just to see if that warmness is going to go away as the foundation dries down, but we will see, you guys. So I feel like on camera it still looks pretty orange. In person, I would say it calmed down just a tad bit, literally like half of a notch of warmth kind of went away, but I feel like on camera it still looks pretty orange. So I'm just going to apply the rest of the foundation. And I do feel like I could have waited just a little bit longer to blend this out. So that's what we're gonna do on this side. So as you guys can see, this is what a fresh swatch of the foundation looks like, and this is what it looks like dried down. So I wonder if you can like tell a difference on camera. Ooh, okay. Now I do have way less dark spots on this side than I do the other side. I don't know if I like the coverage more on this side because I have less dark spots, so it just looks better on this side, or if it's because I let the foundation sit a little bit longer on this side. I'm not sure, you guys, but I definitely do like how it looks on this side. Yeah, it looks way better. So we're just gonna go in with like a half a pump. on this side again to see if this is buildable. So I'm gonna just do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. I did go outside just to see how the foundation looks in different lighting, and I will say I probably should have went with, what was the shade called, 445W or 445N, I can't really remember, but I probably should have went in with that shade because this foundation does oxidize. So yeah, I might just take this back and get a different shade, but honestly I'm not even sure if I'm even gonna do that because I automatically just don't care for the foundation. I'm gonna be honest, you guys, just because of the simple fact that I had to go in with a second layer when this foundation claims to be full coverage, not a medium to buildable or medium to full. It literally says it is a weightless full coverage foundation. So I just feel like the fact that I had to go in with a second layer to like really cover up those dark spots, it's a big no-no for me. I just feel like this foundation is very expensive, which that's not an issue, but if I'm going to be spending this much on a foundation, I needed to do what it actually claims to do, and it did not provide full coverage on the first go, which I have foundations that literally covers everything in one layer, and it's actually way cheaper than this foundation. So aside from the color, I'm just not really feeling the foundation so far, just based off of just that simple fact that I had to layer a full coverage foundation. Like I said, the Too Faced one, I did have to build that up, but that claims to be a buildable foundation, and it covered my dark spots on the first layer way more than what it did with this first layer of this foundation. So yeah, that's just how I'm feeling right now. The color, definitely my fault, that's totally fine, but yeah, because this is definitely not it. So we're just going to move on and finish the rest of the face, and I'm just gonna take you guys through that process as well. So I'm gonna be taking my Huda Beauty Faux Filter concealers. This one is in the shade Brittle. This is closer to my skin tone, but still a brightening shade, well, still a highlighting shade. And I have not used this concealer in so long, you guys, and I have multiple of these concealers because I love it so much. I just haven't used it in a long time, but I figure I definitely want to go in with a concealer that's more on the hydrating side, being that this foundation is matte. And this is a concealer that I definitely let sit on the under eye area for quite some time because I'm able to do that. So you guys, I did apply some more concealer because I just want just a little bit more of a full coverage. And since this foundation is just a tad bit too dark for me right now, I feel like this will be a really good summer shade. I'm just going to take the sponge and whatever leftover concealer is on the sponge, I'm just gonna spread everywhere else just to kind of tone down the shade a little bit. I don't even know if this is like making a difference, but whatever. So now I'm just going to blend out that second layer. So while I let the brightening shade sit on my eye area, I'm going to go into liquid bronzer. I'm going to be taking Truffle Trend by P. Louise. Y'all, I got a whole little dispute about P. Louise and these bronzers and stuff like that, but that's another topic for another day. So I'm going to take this on a very light hand because this is kind of like not my shade for real, so I don't want to apply too much. Ooh, Jesus, I applied way too much on that side. Oh my gosh. And I gotta match it. Okay. And then I'm gonna take my Anastasia Beverly Hills A30 brush. Oh, and to blend out my foundation, this is the only foundation brush that I use now. It is the Huda Beauty Face Base brush. I love this brush so much. So yeah, I'm just going to take that and just blend that out. Okay, so I do like the Truffle Trend shade. That's my first time applying that on my face, so I do like it so far. I like the shade. I typically like a warm bronzer, so yeah, now I'm gonna go in and blend my concealer out. And for cream blush, I'm going to be taking the Patrick Ta Blush Duo, and this is in the shade She's Baked. This was my very first Patrick Ta blush I ever purchased. Guys, this is so weird going in with this blush because I have been on like a rosy blush kick lately, and this is more so like a warm terracotta, but I felt like this would go really pretty with the eyeshadow. Oh, and just to let you guys know, this is like a toasty, my version of a toasty makeup look. I'm not finished with the eyes, obviously, or anything like that. But this is like my full glam version of a toasty makeup look. I've been wanting to hop on that trend for a minute now, so here we are. So now I'm about to set the face, which we need to hurry up and do quick because I am creasing. I forgot how like creasy this Huda Beauty concealer is. And I have creasy under eye, so that doesn't make it any better. So I'm just gonna blend this out. And to set the under eye area, I'm going in with Pound Cake from Huda Beauty. I want a super bright under eye. So this is the shade I decided to go in with. Okay, so I'm gonna just let that powder sit on my under eye area just a little bit, just to give it just a little bit more extra brightness. So now I'm gonna be taking my P. Louise Baked Bronzer in the shade Truffle Trend. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this, because these bronzers are a little bit more on the reddish side. And I've actually been really liking super warm bronzers lately. I used to be kind of like a warm / neutral, but I've been kind of liking the reddish tones. Just a little bit. So now that that's applied, I'm gonna just dust off the extra powder. And then I'm going to go back into that Patrick Ta Duo blush, and I'm gonna take the powder and just set that cream blush. Ooh, that was a lot. Okay. Yeah. Make sure I really blend that out. And I'm going to be taking a real thin layer of my One Size translucent powder, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. I'm taking really, really thin layers, and I'm just going to set all over. And I'm just going to lightly carve out. Lightly carve that out. So now I'm going to take my Huda Beauty Easy Bake pressed powder in the shade Pound Cake as well, just for extra brightness. You can definitely tell a difference. I like a super bright under eye, if you guys don't know. So yeah, definitely need this, especially for this kind of look, because my under eyes is about to get a little bit smoky. So I definitely need something that's going to brighten the under eye area. I know it looks really crazy right now, you guys. I'm not gonna leave it like this. Okay, you guys, so I tried to do like a soft bake under like my bronzer slash like contour, and I just was not feeling it. Like I need something just a little bit more uniform than what I had. So yeah, I'm just gonna let that sit and then just blend it out as much as I can so it's not too harsh. Sometimes I do have a tendency to do that. It can just be a little bit too harsh at the bottom. So I'm going to finish the lash line off of camera and just pretty much finish the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be back with the final look. Okay, you guys, so I am back with the final look. So this is what everything is looking like, y'all. Now I will say, it's not because like I finished the rest of my makeup and everything is like all put together. I literally feel like I have nothing on my skin. Like when I go like this, literally it feels like my skin. It is so crazy. Like I cannot describe this feeling better than that. It just feels like I have absolutely nothing on my skin, and I really do like that feeling a lot. I love how the foundation is looking. It looks very smooth. Everything is nice and covered, even though I did have to go in with the extra layer on this side. For the most part, everything is still covered and nice. I just love how super lightweight this is. This is crazy. I don't think I've ever had a foundation that literally felt like I had nothing on my skin. Now I do have foundations in my collection where it is lightweight, but this is more than lightweight, you guys. It is crazy. And the fact that I went in with the One Size translucent powder, in my opinion, I do feel like that powder is more on the heavier side. So the fact that I went in with that powder and my skin feels the way that it does is literally insane. So to finish this off, you guys, I am going to take my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm. This is the liquid. This is the setting spray. I'm just going to take a little bit of this. I'm not going to take too much, you guys, because the foundation is already matte. This is a mattifying setting spray. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray it over my face and just let it sit, instead of letting it sit on my skin for a little bit, then patting it in, because that gives more of a blurring and mattifying finish. But I don't really need more of a mattifying. I just need everything to be set into place. So I'm just going to take that. Ooh, jeez, that is strong. So yes, you guys, overall, I feel like the foundation looks beautiful. Skin honestly looks flawless. And like I said, it feels amazing. I cannot get over this feeling, you guys. I really cannot. Like, yes, I'm really big on how foundation looks. I don't necessarily talk too much about how it feels on the skin, but y'all, this is just crazy. It is super thin. Like, it is super, super thin. This is crazy. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into the wear test. It is currently 1:30, well 1:29, but 1:30. So yeah, we're just going to go throughout the day and see how this foundation holds up. So as you guys can see, I was trying to give y'all a timestamp, but for some odd reason the camera was just not picking up. I think it just had something to do with how light my lock screen was. But yeah, you guys, and another disclaimer, I'm so sorry that I decided to do this check-in in the dark. I was so caught up with the football game that we were watching, my family and I were watching. So yeah, the check-in times was definitely not the best, but you guys, you'll definitely see why the check-ins was not even really necessary. Nothing was changing, literally nothing was changing. And I was just showing you guys right there how it's not even settling into my fine lines, which is literally insane. But as you can see, I finally got the time right, and it was going on 6 o'clock and everything was looking so good. Okay, you guys, so I am back inside. It is 8:30. Can y'all see? I don't know why it does that. Like, look how yellow it's getting. Maybe I need to back it up. Okay. As y'all can see, it is 8:30. Did y'all see that? So yes, y'all, my freaking face still looks so good. My natural oils are just now starting to come through. And when I say that they're coming through, I mean it's coming through very slightly. Now I will say it is cold outside. I was barely outside for real, but I was cooking. I was in a hot kitchen. So something more should have definitely happened. I feel like if I was wearing a different foundation, but y'all, I really like it. Like, we was off to a rough start at first, but I really do like how this foundation held up and how it feels on the skin. Definitely gave me a flawless look throughout the entire day. The coverage is nice. I definitely would not say that it is a full coverage foundation though. I feel like it is medium to full coverage. That's just my opinion. Yes, it's not the foundation's fault that I have dark spots on my face, of course. However, if you're claiming to be a full coverage foundation, then I would expect for those dark spots to be covered up in one layer, like I said before. But that is okay. All I had to do was just go in with just a thin layer over that area that it just didn't cover, and it covered it beautifully. So at least the foundation is buildable, because if I would have went in with that second layer and I was still able to see my dark spots, we would have had a problem. So yeah, I honestly really like how my makeup is looking, you guys. I feel like even a few hours later, this foundation will still look really good. I feel like I don't look much different from when I first put the foundation on, to be honest. It looks really good. And another thing that I'm noticing about this foundation, and I know for a fact I've been smiling and laughing since I put this foundation on, it's barely settling into my fine lines, which is insane. I'm surprised I didn't even say that in the beginning of like the video, like this portion of the video. I cannot believe it is not settling into my fine lines. Usually it takes a other foundation probably about like an hour, 30 minutes for it to like really show through, and I would have to like smooth it out. So yeah, you guys, I am extremely impressed by that. So yeah, you guys, that is pretty much all I have to say about the foundation. If you guys do have any questions about the foundation, just let me know in the comments down below. Or if you do have the foundation, let me know what are some of your favorite things about this product. I hope you all enjoyed today's video and you learned something new. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.